All right, let's talk about Baker Mayfield here in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A disappointing loss, a game that, right off the bat, looked like it was going to be all Tampa Bay. They got off to that hot 10-point lead, and then just things went off the rails. Mike Evans went down, and it just didn't look the same. So I want to talk about it all. I want to talk about that really good first quarter, which still did happen. We'll talk about it, but also how things kind of went off the rails in the other three quarters, what ultimately went wrong with this kind of, couple ugly interceptions here, and just some good defense by Baltimore. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's start off with this play. Mayfield started off red hot, and this is going to be the touchdown to Mike Evans, which ultimately Evans unfortunately got injured relatively early on in this game. But this is a really fun play design by Liam Cohen. So here's what's going to work. It's zone coverage that the Ravens are in. Tampa Bay has a receiver running that route right there, but it's a receiver in motion. And I think, there's a lot of confusion about, why is motion so valuable? Why do teams love to run motion? Well, this is a great example of why it can be so effective. The idea behind this route is that just going to take the safety further deep, and then Evans can kind of follow him and go in that direction. Okay, simple enough. When this play begins, you see that, okay, this initial route is definitely pushing the safety further deep, but you might be wondering, well, why is the motion necessary here? If he was lined up on that side of the field, couldn't this still have worked just as well? Well, you look at the corner right there, he's letting Evans go past him. Realistically, that's not what he should be doing on this play. He should be staying deep and covering Evans, but because of the player in motion, he just doesn't pick up in time that Evans now won't have a safety on him because the safety is getting taken away by a guy who was only on that side of the field for a split second. So when Baker makes this throw, has a window, hits it, and they're able to get a touchdown right there, which unfortunately, this is, I think, the play that aggravated his hamstring and then got hurt later on. But still, real fun play design, good play here by Mayfield and by Evans. This play was, something we see a lot with Mayfield, extending plays. You see the Ravens are going to send 5 on this one, and right off the bat, they're in trouble. The Buccaneers run a play action, and there is pressure. It's a weird situation where there's kind of clearly pressure around him, but he could just stand in the pocket and make a throw, but there's so much pressure around him, he's going to try and figure something else out, and I don't know how he does this, but watch him kind of step and then really just jukes out Kyle Hamilton is what happened, of moving one way and then moving another. Hamilton thought he was going to just run up the middle, instead stays back. The issue is, at this point, you're thinking the play is over. Sure, Bucky Irving is there, you could, in theory, throw it to him, but at the same time, how is he supposed to see that that's happening when he's spent all this effort just trying to get around a player? Well, I don't know how he's supposed to, but I know he does. Watch him flip it over, and Irving makes the grab. They pick up 14 yards on a play that easily could have been a sack had it gone poorly. That's good stuff here from Baker Mayfield. And this play as well, something we're seeing all the time now. It's 3rd down and 7. Teams are going to, the Ravens, they like to play man coverage in these situations. It's what they're doing here. Marlon Humphrey on Chris Godwin. Evans is out of the game right now, so they feel pretty good about this coverage. However, when Mayfield takes the snap, you see that, there's a window. Again, Godwin's so deadly on these slants, and Mayfield knows how to make these throws. This time, not quite as clean as we're used to seeing. Godwin bobbles it, but still does make the grab. So again, really good stuff. At this point, it's like, what can't Baker Mayfield do? He's just red hot, hitting on everything, and then it didn't go so well in the second quarter. Going over here, technically that last play was in the second quarter too, but this is where things got off the rails a little bit. It's a 2nd down and goal for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're at the 3-yard line. You're in a good spot. Even if you don't convert here, you feel pretty good about yourself. Up 3 points, a chance to make it up 10. Mayfield's going to take the snap right here, and you see, first, I don't know why he didn't just throw it to Bucky Irving. Irving's open. It's not a wide open window, but in a red zone situation, this is where he's looking. It's where his read is. I don't really get why he didn't just make this throw. I think they score a touchdown if he does. There is a Ravens defensive lineman in the area, but that's not enough of a reason, in my opinion, to not make this throw. But Mayfield decides to look somewhere else and actually has all day to throw it. Eventually fires here, and he just never saw Marlon Humphrey. That's what it was. He wouldn't have made this throw had he seen him. What happened was, it was off screen, so I'll just describe it, but McMillan was open in the corner of the end zone. Humphrey was a little bit further down, and he only saw McMillan and didn't see Humphrey, and then when he throws it, Humphrey just takes a step up and is right in front of the ball, gets the interception, and that's just a bad play by Mayfield. You can't make that mistake right there in the end zone on a second goal at the 3. It's just not a chance you can take, and again, he wasn't trying to take a chance, he misread the play. And then this play a little bit later on, again, you're you're in a tough spot here, I would say. The last one, you were kind of in a great spot, and he screwed it up. Here, it's a 3rd and 13, but so much of football, I talk about this every week on this channel, is minimizing damage. And, I mean, Tampa Bay, us Tampa Bay fans saw with Tom Brady, year after year, one of the key things he did was he wasn't afraid to throw the football away, even when, momentum was on the other side and things were going poorly. It's sometimes what you have to do. It's Godwin right here on this route running a route that I don't even really get why on paper Mayfield likes, to be honest. Like, okay, in theory, yes, it could get open underneath the corner into safety, but like the odds of that happening are really small on a 3rd and 13. They're going to be protecting the boundary. And you see, maybe Baker just has Marlon Humphrey blindness or something and didn't see Humphrey again on this one. I don't know. But like, even if you don't see Humphrey, I still don't think this is a great throw to make because it's double coverage. There is another Ravens player kind of in the area, but really it's double coverage. But like, it's a bad decision. I think this is a frustration interception right here. It does get intercepted, and like, again, okay, listen, you can sit here and say, well, you're down in the game, you're trying to make something happen, but like, it's a 4-point game. This gave the Ravens better field position and allowed them to ultimately kick a field goal on their next drive. Maybe they do that anyway, but you at least would have liked to have a little bit better of an opportunity. Again, I kind of get it because your defense is getting torched up until this point, but at the same time, don't make it easier on the Ravens offense. Like, it's a bad call there by Mayfield. I thought that once things got cold later on, because again, the 2 interceptions didn't help, but the result was also just like the offense itself wasn't going as well. And it was a lot of stuff like this, where it's a cover 1 man play, which it has to be mentioned that this is not a coverage Tampa Bay ever sees, because you can't do this when Mike Evans is in the game. Evans will burn you down to field, down to sideline, so you just can't do this. But when Evans isn't out there, they don't really have a downfield threat, and so why not take advantage of that? Tampa Bay's going to try a slant route to Trey Palmer. It's a 2nd down and 12. Hey, let's gain some yards, make it a convertible 3rd down here. However, I mean, Baltimore's all over this. Also, not a very good throw by Mayfield. That had a better chance of being intercepted than caught right there. So, again, this is just really good stuff here by the Baltimore Ravens, but also Tampa Bay. I mean, listen, if you're not winning on these plays, you're going to have some trouble. So, yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts. Again, really good performance by the Baltimore Ravens defense, having a bounce-back game, but, like, there's no getting around it. Mayfield's going to look back at this and say he should have played better, and he'll be right. I mean, this was not his best day. It just wasn't for a guy who was an MVP candidate heading into the season, as was Lamar Jackson. I think that battle very much swung one way in this game and not in the Buccaneers' favor. But yeah, that's what I think of this game. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.